What if the real reason that your injury law firm is losing thousands and thousands of dollars of revenue every single month isn't because of bad ads or SEO, but the real reason is your lack of segmentation in your follow-ups? I have analyzed hundreds of injury law firms and what the top performing injury law firms have been doing differently. And what they have been doing is not their massive billboards or their social media. What they added into their follow-ups was segmentation, and that was the key difference into their success. You give the same message to every single lead, whether it's a motorcycle lead or a car accident lead, or if a lead had a minor injury, or if the lead had a major injury, or they're hospitalized or not hospitalized, all of your message has been the same. And this sole reason is the reason why your six-figure cases are going into your competitor's pocket. What this industry will tell you is that the solution is to invest more into Google Ads or into your SEO. Or perhaps this industry is telling you to invest into social media. But what if I told you, even if you invested hundreds and thousands of dollars into all of these things, if you do not segment your leads, you're sending the wrong message to the wrong person. And this mismatch is what's destroying your return on investment. I'm going to show you why your best cases vanish in minutes and what the top performing firms have been doing to send the right message to the right lead at the right time. I'm going to show you all of this so you can add this into your own injury law firm. First, so you can really understand the importance of a strong follow-up system, I'm going to show you some numbers. Let's say for this example, you bring in 200 leads per month. At a 5% conversion rate, that is 10 consultations. Let's say that's $50K per case. That is $500K in revenue. And it sounds pretty decent, right? But here is the key difference. Let's say at 25% conversion rates, that is 50 consultations. And at 50K per case, that is $2.5 million in revenue. These two law firms had the same leads and the same ad spend, but one had $2 more million in revenue. What I'm trying to show you here is that the solution is not more leads. The solution is converting the leads you already have. Now, you probably hear me say the word segmentation a lot in this video. And here is what segmentation is. Segmentation is grouping your leads into narrowed groups that you're categorizing them into very small groups. Like, for example, leads that have major injuries that have been hospitalized will go into one group, and leads that have major injuries but are not hospitalized yet will go into another group. And the goal of this is so you can send highly personalized emails to these leads. Now, the problem with your guys' original follow-ups is that they feel so irrelevant and valueless because you're sending the wrong message to them. Motorcycle leads do not care about car accident leads, and car accident leads do not care about trucking leads. So when you make your social proof content, it has less emotional impact because they don't relate to your client at all, because a car accident client or a car accident lead cannot relate to a motorcycle lead or a motorcycle social proof. So the more you can make your content relate to your leads, the higher the conversion rates are. And that is a fact. And also, you cannot make educational content to really nurture them if you do not segment your leads, because the value that you're going to give them through your educational content is not going to be that useful and impactful because you're talking to the wrong lead, or it's not relevant to the lead exactly because different leads are going through different problems. And if you're really giving a generic solution to a generic problem, it is less impactful. So if you're like social proof follow-ups do not speak to them, they will tune out of it. Same thing with your educational content. If it's not relatable to them or it doesn't speak to them, they will tune out of it. That's why segmentation in your follow-ups is so key and important, because you can impact your leads and really encourage them to work with you. The more you narrow down the message to your exact lead type, the bigger the impact you have. If you have segmentation into that social proof, the impact emotionally is going to be far greater than a normal social proof that you have given. And the reason why that is because it's so much more relatable. The same thing with your educational content. The more you narrow it down and segment it to your lead, the more valuable it is to them because how extremely relevant it is to them. And this brings us to what you have been waiting for: how to segment your leads. So first, we actually need a software itself. First, we need a software that actually allows us to group our leads into categories so we can send specific content to them. This is where our CRM and ESP come into play. You want to find a CRM and an ESP, and you want to integrate those together. You want to connect them. So what this does is that when a lead submits the intake form data, when the lead takes the intake data, so how this works is that when the lead fills out the intake form, since your CRM and your ESP are automatically connected, the data will save and your leads will be automatically categorized into a group. So when you make your content, which I highly recommend you send email content. The reason why is because you can make your content through email so pleasing to the eye, because you can have it very skimmable where it's not a big bulky paragraph. I promise you, your lead's not going to read a huge paragraph that you sent them through a text message. They'll rather have it very skimmable where you can add bullet points into it. Once you make your email content, you can make it towards a specific group of leads. And once you have it set up, it will send a message automatically the moment that lead comes in. And the content you have made for these type of leads, the impact will be so much greater. Now, you'll also have to consider the content you're actually making inside of those emails. The content needs to be extremely emotionally impactful and educational to effectively nurture them. Now, the way you can make emotionally impactful content is through social proof and case studies about your past client. But you have to remember, the key to making this extremely emotionally impactful is that your leads have to see themselves inside of your client, of your old client. They have to be able to relate to the struggles. That's why segmentation is so important, because without segmentation, you cannot make content that really resonates with your leads. And that goes for educational content. Educational content is really more impactful when your leads can really. Educational content is way more valuable the more relevant it is to them. And the type of emails you should really be sending to these leads is, number one, objection handling emails are one of the best things you can be sending to your leads. This kills the objections they might have beforehand, before they even have the chance to talk to you or raise them up. One of the greatest lessons I have learned about sales is that selling to people is not about selling your product. It's about taking down those objections before they even raise them up. Another way you can educate your leads is through answering a common fear they might have, like their medical bills or their insurance adjusters. FAQs are a really good way to educate your leads as well. List a bunch of common questions that most leads usually have and answer it on there. And what this does is it really encourages your lead to work with you. Another extremely good educational content that you could be making is urgency emails. Really show the effects of what will happen if they wait. What would they lose? You have to show and reveal what they will lose and how much it will hurt them if they do not take action now. So remember, it's not about blasting the same message to every single lead, because that has no impact on them. When you start segmenting your content to your specific leads, your educational content starts to become really hard to ignore, and your educational content becomes more valuable, and your emotional content, like your social proof and your case studies, start to become more valuable. And then once you start doing that, you can start pulling in the numbers that most firms dream of. So with that, I really hope you got a lot of value from this video. God bless you and keep your mind well.